Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da. Sorry about that beginning. Do you ever see somebody else's idea and think, oh, I wish I had that idea. I wish I had that idea. All the ingredients were there. It just took one person to take the next step. This is a brilliant idea. I don't know how long it's been around. It's probably been around for years. I don't know. Is that dark? I don't know. Is it? It looks dark. I've fucking got to get over my obsession with. Anyway, I can't tell. Anyway, all the ingredients was there. Just took one person to take the leap, and whoever thought of these just is a genius. I just so gutted it wasn't me. It's basically, I don't know who they by. It's marketed. That is supposed to be a lightsaber handle. That's why I was doing a really crappy impression of a lightsaber. But yeah, it's basically they come in red and green, so you can be Darth Vader or you can be Luke Skywalker. What a brilliant idea! Is that not just such an excellent idea? Like Star Wars lightsaber Calippos. But then you have to eat them. And it takes on a whole new, very Freudian sort of overtones. I won't go into details. But, you know, there's a certain level of impotence going on here. Oh, I've got to eat this now, fuck. They're very nice. Not as nice as Calippos. That's the thing. I think I've missed the boat because it's quite warm today. I should have done this. I should have done this weeks ago. I bought these specifically to show in a video because I thought that's such a brilliant idea. That's worth a video in itself. But you know, being me, I got really lazy and I still wanted to feature them though. But in the intervening weeks, I've been eating them, and I've kept back two. I've kept back a green one and a red one, specifically to show in a video. I mean, that's pretty pathetic lightsaber, but as a Calippo, you know, the theory is there. The theory is there, but sort of it's pretty unimpressive as far as lightsabers go. Put that there. But I hope it doesn't melt too much. I have to drink it otherwise. Maybe that might speed me up with my video. Excuse me. Put this somewhere. Put that there. Got a new sofa. Ex-display. Hence it was half price. And this is why I'm making my video from this perspective. Because I've got the sofa. I mean, if you sort of orientate yourself around further that way, that's the direction I normally make my videos from. But, pardon me, excuse me. New sofa. It was ex-display, so it's obviously had lots of strangers' arses sort of sitting on it. You know, I don't know whether they clean them before I send them to you. I should do. I mean, I don't really want to think too much about who's been sitting on my new sofa. But it came. Yeah, that's it. We ordered it. I said you can't have it for like about a month and a half, so we had to just sit and try not to imagine who was sitting on our sofa in the intervening weeks. But it came, and it took about a day for my cat to find it. And I was sat at the computer just behind the camera. I sat at the computer. He was in here. doing what he does, and I just turned around and just watched him scent mark on my new fucking sofa, and this all bastard. He stuck his arse up to it and just shook his tail. And just, did you just do what I thought you did? Hence he's banned. So he's banned from this room. He doesn't like things smelling, things that don't smell like him. So yeah, I thought you might want to know that. I don't know why you would want to know, but I've told you anyway, so can't take that back. Yeah, this is pickups number. God, lost track of the numbers. Can't even remember what number it is. Anyway, it's a pickups video. I've got a new system, which I've been. I really want to eat that lightsaber. I've got a new system and some games. It's been very barren in the wild. I think I've been seeing things, not seeing things as in apparitions or mirages, but games. I'm not, I've been seeing games, good stuff. I think this is a good time. Summer holidays, beginning of the summer holidays, beginning in particular of the summer holidays, and Christmas as well. They're good times to go on the scout around for video games in charity shops and things like that, because they're both times when people will get rid of stuff. They'll have clear outs. Obviously at Christmas people who get home and use stuff and they need to make room, so they chuck stuff out or take it wherever. I think the beginning of the summer is the same for different reasons. I think it's people. It's like the new start. It's the beginning of the new school year, so to speak, right at the beginning of the summer, and so things get shipped out. And there have been stuff in charity shops. I saw a whole pile of SNES games for weird prices. Weird prices. They had really nice Mario Kart for £10, but I haven't got a SNES. That's not probably pretty good. I don't really know. Then they had, this was in a local charity shop. Then they had Syndicate for £40, but that's still there. I think it's still there, but most of the other stuff is gone. There was a big mix of titles, but Mario Kart was the best one. But apart from that, I've seen things here and there. I've seen things in cash converters and things like that, but they're cottoning on more and more. It is true. It's not just an exaggeration, but they are. But it's not exclusively across the board, so you can't really generalise to that extent. But I am seeing it more and more that charity shops and cash converters are becoming aware of this sort of market price of things. But which is, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, because obviously it's the influence of eBay. Actually, I've written a little set of notes to what to talk about in this video, and this wasn't on the list, but don't know where the fuck this has come from. I think it's the influence of eBay, and it's recommended retail price for things that don't normally have one, and but then they're shooting themselves in the foot, because all these places don't have. They don't have the millions of people, sort of, I suppose what you call it's footfall, isn't it, the technical term? I don't know. But yeah, online presence is the equivalent of footfall in a high street. I mean, a charity shop doesn't have those millions and millions of people, so they shouldn't really be able to quote the same price, but they do, and if they can get the price right, then things sell, even if they're not the standard peanuts that charity shops should, or not should, but sometimes charge, or used to charge. But I think it's probably something we have to get used to. People who dwell in places like cash converters and charity shops and all that, it's something we have to get used to and have to accept that you will see it more. But anyway, but I've been missing out on stuff. I've been looking on the Cash Converters website actually, and they've had some really good stuff. They've had, in the last week or so, they had some really interesting consoles. They've had a PCFX. It was £70, I think. I was really tempted, but you know, just on a whim though. It's just because it's interesting, and PC engines and CDIs and things like that, and 3DOs. And I don't think any of them are rare. They've all been sold by now, but generally, if you see something good, unless you see it within the first few minutes of listing, it would have already gone. So all the good stuff I've seen has already gone. So, and they keep the listing up just to piss you off, just to show you what we've missed out on. Fucking bastards. Anyway, so I've been missing out stuff, but the one that really pissed me off the most, it was a Gumtree listing. I only look on London Gumtree. I suppose, yeah. And this, generally I look up just for PS1 games. And this listing came up for PS1 games, and the list, it was 16 games for 15 quid. And the list was fucking amazing. It was a lot of standard stuff like Resident Evils. That was probably the most standard stuff was Resident Evils, you know, across the board. And Spyros aren't really interesting to me, but they had Mega Man X3, X5 and Mega Man 8, all in probably worth about, the whole batch worth about 200 quid plus on eBay, and the guy was charging was asking 15 quid for it. Only thing was, it was in Croydon, and I live about as far away as you can get from Croydon in London. I live at the opposite end of London from Croydon, and I was just so tempted. I really wanted to put up a video just to tell people that it was there. So anyway, I know there are people in Croydon who make YouTube videos. I just hope somebody saw it, somebody nabbed it, because that listing was around for literally a couple of hours. So, but I mean, I was gutted that it was so far away, because if it had been just down the road, I would have been all over it. But gutted. I'm just going to try the curtains. Have a look. It's a bit of a contrast now, isn't it? I fucking have to do. Right, yeah. So I've not really been seeing much in charity shops. Hence, I've got a nice little pile of DVDs. So you generally buy it for frustration. I've got a film list in the way I've got a game list. I've got a film list. It just doesn't get as much. Excuse me. Doesn't get as much attention as my DVD list, but you know. I mean, it's been so barren. Yesterday, I found myself in a charity shop, and they had some Warhammer 40,000 stuff. Like, it was a start pack. It was a load of plastic soldiers, Space Marines and Orcs and a load of other stuff for £2.50, and then they had a load of extras. One was 50p and another one was some tank for £2. So all in for a fiver for all this stuff, and the actual box for the main bit was about that big. It was massive, and it felt really heavy. And I was thinking, I'm so tempted. Because obviously I've been playing XCOM a lot, and it's the same principle, just on a table rather than on a computer screen. And just I think I've missed the boat as far as that's concerned. And you know, and the ladies love a 36-year-old man who plays with toy soldiers, don't they? But I'm so tempted. You know, sit and paint them. You know. But in the end I left it. I came home, it's a bad habit, checked stuff on eBay, and the big box of stuff was going for like 30 quid up to £45. I was thinking, shit, I'm gonna go back and get it tomorrow, meaning today, but I didn't. And I had sort of thought twice. So I'm never gonna get to play it. I'm just gonna be stuck with all these toy soldiers that I've got no use for. Just other than to look like toy soldiers on a shelf. And like I said, you know, 36 man who plays with toy soldiers, not even playing with them properly. So I'll leave it. Hopefully it'll go to a good home. They'll go to a good home. But probably brand new, you'd pay sort of like 60 quid or something. I don't know, 70 quid for all this stuff, and they had it for a fiver. But that's it. That's my list done. Now it's on to the good stuff. Fucking hell, 15 minutes. I'll try and be quick. I'll whiz through the DVDs. I've got 6. Say 6. Last time I had about 3. Now I've got 6. The balance is tipping. So. Oh, that's not a good look, is it? I know I've got lipstick. Bad idea. Lord of the Rings. The animation. It's Ralph Bakshi, I think his name is. Yeah, Ralph Bakshi. This guy. It's something I remember watching as a kid on VHS. And it's actually really, really good. It's they use this technique called rotoscoping. It's live action with animation laid over the top, and it's really effective. It creates a strange sort of atmosphere. It's quite unnerving and creepy. And this is underrated. I seem to remember it not incorporating the whole. Sun's coming out again. Not incorporating the whole storyline. I don't know. I seem to remember it didn't go all the way to Mount Doom. I think Mount Doom, but I remember it was only £1.49. Got this yesterday. 3 of these yesterday actually. In a charity shop. It was I'll do this one first. In a charity shop, it was cancer research, and I saw it's got some good stuff. I went through all the DVDs. They had no games. I had no games, so I ignored it, sort of didn't even bother looking for games, and then went on to the DVDs. Saw some good stuff, and they had Beasts of the Southern Wild, which I made a video about a few months ago. Was it before Christmas? Can't remember. Really good, very, very good film. Probably not the sort of film that people who watch my videos have watched. I don't know. But like I said, I think I said in that video, mate, that's presumptuous. I don't want to be presumptuous, but it's really good anyway. Just give it a crack if you like something different. But yeah, I made this video actually. That reminds me, I saw the Alan Partridge film. I was going to make a video about that in the same way I made a video about this, urging people to go and watch it because it's good. In fact, if people have already seen it, and let me know what you think, because I really enjoyed it. It was silly. It's sort of evolved Partridge. I really like that scene when he's in his car singing along to Cuddly Toy, Bob Roachwood. But yeah, this £2. I saw some other stuff, but I didn't know. They were all about similar prices, and I didn't really want to pay too much in one go. And I took this to the counter, and the guy says, "Oh, it's 3 for 2." I went, "Really? Oh, cool." So I got manipulated in a 3 for 2 offer by Cancer Research. I don't normally give in to those 3 for 2 things. People look at you really weirdly. If there's ever buy one get one free, and you decide you don't want the other one, they can keep it. I am, yeah. They look at you really weirdly. I said, "Hey, why would you not have something for free?" Because there's nothing I want. I'm not just going to have something I don't want just because it's free, and it takes up space. I don't want it, and I just have to give it to a charity shop because it's getting on my nerves. Just its sheer presence. But anyway, yeah. So I got manipulated into buying the 2 more that I did actually want. I very nearly bought them anyway. But Beasts of the Southern Wild was the first one I got, and then the guy said you can have 2 more, 2 for 3. So I got Blackadder. Been watching this on Sunday nights. Really good. Get the one BC2, and this beauty is The Road. It's an adaptation of the book. I've seen this. I really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. It's just really, really depressing. And in the time since I watched it, I've forgotten how depressing it was, because it's the sort of film that you enjoy, but you might not want to watch a second time because of how bleak and depressing it is. And this is bleak and depressing. but it is good, and I've forgotten particularly how bleak and depressing it is, so that's why I got it. And this one, I'll do this one first. So Fermat's Room. This is a bit like The Cube, a film called The Cube. It's low budget sci-fi, sort of sci-fi thriller horror called The Cube, and this is similar, I think it is anyway. And it's about some mathematicians who get put in a room that's going to kill them if they don't work out how to get out of it. But yeah, I bought this last Saturday. I went to watch the Liverpool game in the pub, and I went around the charities. There's a few charity shops near the pub, and I went round them, and beforehand, and I saw this. I wouldn't mind that, but it's £2. So I wasn't too sure about £2, so I left it. Went to the pub, had a few pints while I was watching the football. I'm a bit of a lightweight, but I wasn't drunk. But what it did, it sort of lubricated my resistance to paying £2 for this. So I came out and I was a little bit wee, and I went and paid £2 for it. So and this, the last one, how much is this? I think it's £1. It's The Taking of Pelham 123. The original, a lot better than I think it's the Tony Scott remake. This is by Joseph Sargent. It's got Walter Matthau and Robert Shaw in it, and it's fantastic. This is probably one of my favourite genres. It's sort of 70s sort of cop thriller, genre. Sort of 60s and 70s retro cop thriller, murder, paranoid genre. That sort of. And this is I love this show. It's brilliant. It's about a heist. A group of criminals hijack a subway train, and it's actually it's the film that Quentin Tarantino took his idea from for Reservoir Dogs, of giving his criminals names of colours. So it came from this Pelham 123. I think there's a grey, green, something, blue, white, don't know, brown. Anyway, it's really good. So it's, right, games. Nothing really major. Nothing really mind-blowing. But some not bad stuff. The first one, it's Anna Kournikova Smash Court Tennis. I bought this with 3 other games. They were only 49p each, so it came to just under a £2. But I bought this for its case. So I've emptied out the others, so they're just empty cases now because they were shitty. And I had second thoughts about chucking the game away for this, or getting rid of it just for the case. So I've kept it. I'm going to keep this one because I used to have this at university. I used to play with my friends because you can play 4-player on it, and it's one we used to play Wu-Tang Taste of Pain and Crash Team Racing and ISS Pro. And this 4-player, it's really good fun. Really good fun. What happened to Anna Kournikova? She was a bit of style over substance, wasn't she? No, it was really good fun. It's just a tennis game. It's but there's a certain amount of nostalgia attached to this, so it elevates it. For me personally, it elevates it above other standard tennis games. 23 minutes, right? I'll try and whiz through these. This, and where this came from. Where the fuck was this? Where did this come from? But it's been on my list anyway, quite high up on my Xbox list. It's Crimson Skies. I think Steve Benway did a gameplay video of this, and it looked really good. I have played the demo. I went through a stage when I first had my Xbox, of playing these sort of retro futuristic flight combat sims, and there's another one called Jaeger, I think it's called. I think this one's slightly better of the two, but even though they're both still pretty good. But this wasn't expensive at all, about £1 I think. I can't remember where I got it from. I think it did come from a charity. I got it from it was PDSA in Kentish Town. On that boiling hot day, I went down there and sweated my arse off, and that's all I got to show for it for that day. a little trip to my favourite branch of cash converters yielded some decent stuff actually. Nothing quite as good as the N64, but still not bad. House of the Dead 2 and 3, only £3. So £3. I used to love House of the Dead 2 in the arcades, played it a lot. So this was a bit of a no-brainer. And it's in really nice nick, and it's only £3, which I think is probably less than it goes for generally. So I was happy to pay it. The only downside is that shit on the disc. The disc's actually really nice nick, bar that. It's like sticker residue. How the fuck do you get that on the bottom of the disc? I don't really know I'm going to get it off because it's pretty ground in. Probably have to wet it or something, I don't know. Obviously I can't, normally I'd scratch it off. I don't want to scratch it because it's on the bottom of the disc. So if anybody's got any tips, let me know. And this one's probably the best actual purchase in the world of the last, since my last pickups video. It's Haunting Ground from the same day from Cash Converters for £1.99. This has been on my list for a very, very long time, ever since I read a Eurogamer online article about sort of games nobody played on the PS2 that were worth playing. This is one of them, and the actual price has gone up since then. It's about sort of 7, 8, 9, maybe up to £15 job on eBay. I think CX got it about 8, but it's actually not bad nick. And I was perfectly happy to play it. I was, to play it to pay that, but they've taken to taping up their games because so often you go. It's a bit of a dodgy area, that cash converters, and so often you go in there and they keep the discs in the cases and there's no discs in there. Because it's probably all the people who donated and all the people who burgled stuff are burgling it back again. But once they've sold it to them. No. I know this is actually from a charity shop. Battlefield Bad Company 2, £2.50 from Larry Curie. Downside is it had. I think it probably came from HMV because it had one of those HMV sort of bands, plastic seals that goes all the way around it like twice. So I couldn't get into it. So it's obviously not been played since whoever had bought it. And it looks in really nice nick. And it's a game I've been wanting to play. Pretty old now, but what the hell. The only downside is the disc's not so bad, but it's got all these speckly shit all over it, as if it's been like someone sneezed on it all over, and it won't wipe off. But it might mean that it won't play. I don't know. I've not tried it. Maybe I should try it. But it might need cleaning if it doesn't work. So there you go. Finally, as far as games are concerned, 3 CX purchases. This came with credit. I got the system I'm going to show you was all CX credit, but I had a little bit left over, and I got this with it. It's Contact. It's an RPG. In my head, I think it's like an Earthbound, but it's not. But it looks quite stylish, quite interesting, and a little bit different. And it's a Rising Star Games game, published or developed, published. But it's been one I've keeping an eye out for. It's not expensive, so I've not really busted a gut to get it. But I've always thought if I saw it, for a decent price, it was only £2.50. If I saw it for a decent price, then I'd nab it because it's an RPG. And this one, mentioned by Rob Tino777, but it had been on my list, and I've got the. This is actually the sequel. I've got the first game. It's Bleach Dark Souls, developed by Treasure. £8. This was actually just a straight up cash purchase because I'd had my eye out for this for a long time. It doesn't pop up too much. You see a few on eBay. I think you won't struggle to find them on eBay, but elsewhere. And I've not really ever bid on one. And I kept an eye on how much they go for, and it's around about sort of £5, £6, £7 mark. And I think CEX had them for £8 as well. Well, obviously £8. and there'd been one in cash converters for £8, and generally they're all around about the same price. In the end, I had some money. I bit the bullet because I saw it. I thought, well, what the fuck? Why not? And literally, I had my eye on one on eBay, sort of round about the time I bought this, and it finished the next day, and it ended up going for about £3 all in. So I obviously should have bid on it, but it's a treasure game, and it's a one-on-one fighter. So, and I really like the first one. So this is one of those games. It's a bit of a sleeper hit. This one, and this one's interesting. It's called Luminous Arc. I forgot what day I bought it. Well, I went into CEX, saw it. I thought I'd like that. But it was There's another one that was £8. Didn't want to pay £8 for it, so I left it. And I thought I might go back and get that. But I went somewhere else. And I bought. It was a greatest hits copy of Simpsons Hit and Run. It was quite expensive. It was a charity shop purchase for $3.99. I wasn't going to keep it because it was a greatest hits, but I'd already got a copy of Hit and Run, but without the manual. And the manual for the greatest hits version is exactly the same as the standard manual. So I just swapped it over. So then I had a greatest hits version without a manual. So I didn't really know what to do with it until I checked on the CX website. And generally, you can't get anything for Xbox games. 31 minutes. Generally, you can't get anything at Xbox games. They give even the really sought after ones like Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will get you about £3, even though they sell it for about 18. And the same with Game of the Year edition of Morrowind. That's about the same. But for some reason, CX sell Hit and Run for 10, but they give you 7 for it. So. Outside, but which I don't really understand. There's obviously sort of a discrepancy between how much they sell and how much they give. The exchange credit is not brilliant for Xbox games, bar Simpsons Hit and Run. So I traded it in, got £7 for it, and just sort of paid the extra pounds and got this. So this cost me $5.99 or $4.99 all in generally, even because I just traded in the $3.99 Simpsons Hit and Run that I got, and I've got the sequel to this as well. So there you go. Chuffed. Those are my games. It's an RPG. It's a tactical RPG if anybody's interested. Onto the system. You probably guess what it is. It's a nice wide PSP 3000. I got this. I went to see my old nan. She lived in Tunbridge Wells. I knew they had a boxed PSP 3000. So I went to check if you've got the box. I went to check it out, and I lost my patience with looking for a PSP because I'd looked at a lot. And I was just being really picky, overly picky. But in the end, I just lost my patience, and I got the credit. It's all credit. I'd had £69 credit. So, and this was, I wouldn't have paid the cash for that. The thing is, I worked it out. The credit, the stuff that I traded in to get £69 credit cost me about £29. So it makes sense. So, in effect, this cost me slightly under £29, which I'd happily pay. But I just wouldn't pay that 68. And it's in not bad nick. There's a slight defect in the top of the screen that you can ever so slightly see when you play games in it. And I like to look at the back, the little disc on the back, because that scratches really badly, and it's not really that scratched. So that was a bonus. And everything else is actually in really nice nick. Nothing's scuffed or anything like that. There's not too much dirt on the little thing, because on the white ones it always gets into there and it goes a bit brown, a bit manky. And I wasn't really too interested in the white one, or the only one I didn't want was the really girly ones. The one I really wanted was the blue metallic one, sort of like the XR3i Boy Racer Blue, or a red one. A silver one, but the silver one the paint seems to chip on the silver ones for some reason. the black one shows finger marks, and then a white one. The only reason I didn't want a white one because it shows other people's dirt. You know, don't really want to think about other people's dirt. You know, but then I am sitting on somebody on a sofa that's had lots of strangers' asses on it. But so I lost my patience and went with it because it's actually I can't. I'm being picky now. It is pretty good, barely, you know, one of the best I've seen. But so I went with it because it's the box. I saw in the box, and it's got all the little extra bits in the box. It's got all the stuff, and it looked a really nice nick. I mean, there's a bit of a rip on the back, but you know where that's come from. And so I went with it. Yeah, I'll have that. Nice girl. Oh, nice girl. In the CX, so she's been really helpful. So you know, I felt a bit manipulated. I let myself get manipulated. But then another way I check to see how good condition it is see if the little barcode bit on the bottom is worn, because sometimes they wear quite badly. But this one hasn't got one, so it's obviously been peeled off. So which I didn't know until I'd bought it. But you know, again, I'm being picky. But so yeah. I've got 8 games. 8 games for it. I can only play 2 because the other 6 are RPGs and I haven't got a memory card. So what's the point? But the only other thing I'm slightly suspicious about is because the battery was totally dead when I first turned it on. Totally dead, so it needed charging. Which I was wondering about. I mean, do they lose power naturally? And does anybody know, do they lose power naturally? Because I was a bit suspicious that it was totally 100% dead. I don't know whether or not they'd had this running in the... Well, no, actually, it was in the box, so it wasn't on display. So... Or maybe it had been... Whoever had it last had let it run down, I don't know. But it's a nice nick. It's a nice enough nick, you know. It's about an 8 out of 10. And it's a little bit spangly. So, yeah. I'm happy. So there you go. And now I can stop banging on about getting PSPs. Thumbs up. What's that? That's a totally different gesture. I'm going to finish my lightsaber. Thanks for watching. See you later.